Hi, I'm Frank out of Buffalo, New York, and I found an interesting article earlier. It was put up online by the Huffington Post, and apparently 7 months ago there was an online petition floating around which was sponsored by the White House, and they finally got a response from the Obama administration's drug czar. Now, according to a letter from the United States Accountability Office, the drug czar is a slang term for whoever directs drug control propaganda in the United States. So, anyway, 7 months after this petition allegedly came into play, it was responded with a approximately one paragraph, worth of babbling and nonsense from this guy Gil, who is apparently our drug czar. And in his very first interview as the U.S. drug czar, he was interviewed with the Washington Post, and he says, and quote, "Regardless of how you try to explain to people it is a war on drugs or a war on product, people see a war as a war on them," he says. We are not at war with people in this country. Now, the statement war on product alone brings up a lot of questions, to me anyway. I mean, that just doesn't sound right. I don't like that. That could mean a war on anything that we consume if it's interpreted the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, who's to say vitamins? That's a product. It's also technically a drug. Are they going to have a war on vitamins? If you think that's right, then stop watching right now. So they say that they're not at war with the people of this country either. Yet that's a clear contradiction to everything that's happening right now. I mean, if you watch the news, you've seen the stories. Now, I understand that they're after the big shots, the big drug traffickers, the big dealers. But, that's what they keep saying, and I believe that. But at the same time, in order to get those people, they're waging skirmishes with the general public to get to that point. That means, we are still a part of this war. That means that they are also at war with us, does it not? Correct me if I'm wrong, but if they're going to twist words around, I'm going to do the exact same thing, because that's exactly what I'm hearing. I'm speaking about the raids that you hear about. They bend the terms probable cause way further than they were ever intended, and the police officers, around here, at least the ones that I've dealt with, they circle talk. They must be taught that in police academies across the nation, because they're not out to protect us. They will do everything in their power to get you to say something that will incriminate yourself. I've seen it firsthand. So President Obama's misleading claims are the focus of most of the news stories on the topic, and for good reason. I'll probably make a separate video on that as well, but as far as this goes, the latest statements from the drug czar have apparently pretty much completely slipped under the radar. Nobody's talking about this, but they should be. The petition was in regard to industrial hemp, by the way. The petition was not intended at all to promote or propose legalization of the drug marijuana. Not at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quote the White House Drug Czar's exact response to this petition. Official White House response to allow industrial hemp to be grown in the U.S. once again. What we have to say about marijuana and hemp production. Notice they immediately use the word marijuana, which is irrelevant. America's farmers deserve our nation's help and support to ensure rural America's prosperity and vitality. Federal law prohibits human consumption, distribution, and possession of Schedule I controlled substances. Hemp and marijuana are part of the same species of cannabis plant. While most of the THC in cannabis plants is concentrated in the marijuana, all parts of the plant, including hemp, contain THC, a Schedule I controlled substance. The administration will continue looking for innovative ways to support farmers across the country while balancing the need to protect public health and safety. Now, if you know anything about hemp or marijuana, you'll notice right away how ridiculous this sounds. More so if you know a thing or two about how the feds talk. You know, what he does, if you look closely, is he more or less deflects the issue onto something completely irrelevant, which is marijuana. The petition has nothing to do with the use of marijuana, and the hemp itself doesn't have THC. You know, look it up. The THC is created in the flowers and the buds of the plant, which is the female plant. The male plants are the ones that are used for industrial hemp. There's no buds on those. There's no flowers on those. It's leaves and stalk. That's what they use to make the clothes, the hemp products that you wear. You can go and buy hemp milk. You can buy hemp necklaces. I have one. But yet we're not allowed to grow it? I mean, tell me how that makes sense. So, you know, it's a completely different thing altogether. And of course, he would twist it to make it sound like they want to legalize pot. So, way to go, White House staff. You have successfully made yourselves look like you cannot read, let alone tell the difference in a plant by looking at it. I can both read and tell the difference in the plant by looking at it. And I have terrible eyes. I can see the buds from a mile away. So, hemp is not a Schedule 1 substance and can legally be possessed and consumed if it has been imported in the form of a pre-made product. But yet it is a drug and we cannot grow it? Tell me how that makes sense. Really, I'd like to know. There's a lot more to the article, though, than what I'm saying, and if this sounds interesting to you, then I recommend that you read it yourself. I'll put a link underneath the video in the description. And the article itself goes into a lot more detail, analyzing pretty much everything that is wrong with what he said. But I must say again, you know, the government, they're lying, twisting things around, so that basically they don't have to admit that they've been wrong. And I'm just about sick of it, you know. I yell about this stuff. I mean, yeah, I got a little bit of a cold, but, you know, I yell about this stuff. My throat's getting sick of it, you know. This is an issue that needs to be taken more seriously. And I feel that, you know, more attention needs to be paid to this statement by the administration's drug czar, because it's contradicting, irrelevant, and to be perfectly honest, you know, I've been kind of reading this over in the back of my mind as I'm talking, and, you know, they never address the petition really at all. You know, pretty much all they say, and he must repeat it about, I'm not going to count, but I mean, I think he repeats it about 3 times, about how marijuana is a Schedule 1 drug. You know, no shit. I mean, number one, it shouldn't be, but even still, hemp is not, which is what the petition was about in the first place. So, as you can see, I'm a little bit frustrated, and I should be, and you should be too. Well, anyway, it's pouring rain out here, which is contributing to my horrible mood, but anyway, if you like what I have to say and if you agree with it, don't be silent. Spread the word. Repost this video. Make your own video. You know? Nothing is going to get done if you stay silent about it. So get out there. Don't keep your mouth shut. Peace.